Hello everyone, welcome to Gogetmyguru. In this video, we'll be discussing about raising exception in Python. So let's get started with our first topic, that is raise keyword. What is this raise keyword? In Python, exception can be raised using raise keyword. So raise is a keyword provided in Python in order to raise the exception explicitly. In our previous videos, we have seen exception was raised by Python itself. So what is the syntax for this? Raising an exception, raise keyword, after that give the exception class name, and then you can provide a value. This is optional. So let's discuss with an example to know the usage of this raise keyword. So let's consider an example of banking system. I hope many of you have done IMPS transaction where bank decides a limit for transaction amount. So I'll write a try block first and then we'll take a amount. So this amount is entered by user. So integer input, enter the amount to be transferred. So we are taking the value for the amount from the user. Now let's say bank has decided the limit for transaction is 20,000. So if amount greater than 20,000, I'll raise an exception here. Raise exception. I'll raise a generic exception, else print continue the transaction. Now that we have raised an exception, we need to handle that exception. So here, to catch that exception, I'll take except block, and in the except block, I'll write print amount is exceeding limit. I hope you understood the code. So we are checking if the amount is greater than 20,000, I am raising an exception explicitly. Let's run this and check, enter the amount to be transferred. So I'll enter 30,000 here. So what should happen? Exception should be raised. Let's check whether it works. Yes, it is working. It is throwing an exception that amount is exceeding limit. Let's go back to code. So here I am taking a general exception class. That is, this exception can handle all types of exceptions. But what is the exact exception thrown here? Yes, it is a value error because value is exceeding the limit. So let's say here, raise value error exception, value error, and here also we have to write except value error. This time I'll enter the amount less than 20,000. So I'll enter 15,000. Let's check what happens. Yes, now it is printing continue the transaction. This time exception is not raised, so except block is not catching the exception. I hope you are clear with this raise keyword and its usage and syntax. Let's move on to next topic. So our next topic is raise exception with message. So now we'll discuss how to raise an exception with message. So here we have raise keyword and the exception class name. Here itself I can provide the message. After this exception name, give parenthesis and write the message you want to print whenever this particular exception is raised. So here I'll write amount should be less than 20,000, and here accept value error as E and print E. Let's run this now. Now I'll enter again 30,000. So you can see that exception is raised with a message that amount should be less than 20,000. I hope you guys are clear with how to make use of raise keyword to raise an exception explicitly. So this is more useful whenever he needs to raise an exception, or it comes in handy to raise user-defined exceptions. I hope all of you are clear with the concept we have discussed today.
If you like our videos to support us, leave us a feedback in the comment section. Have you subscribed to our channel? If not, request you to click on subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive regular updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next session. Keep coding. Happy learning.